This video is just going to explain how the code in this script works, which is something I demonstrated in the video at the card at the top right of the screen. And what this allows you to do is place any accessory into the server storage, and the code will automatically weld together every single part inside the accessory. So now we can scroll down and see how everything here works. And the first thing we do is we call this function. So once you've pasted this into the command bar, it's automatically going to activate this function. And this is going to handle creating folders inside of the server storage for the accessories to be in. So the first thing we need to check for is if those folders already exist. So we're looking through the server storage to see if it can find anything on the first layer with the name of original accessories and then welded accessories. The original accessories folder is going to contain any of the accessories you placed into the server storage, so anything in that folder is completely unmodified. On the other hand, the welded accessories folder is going to contain the completely modified and welded versions of that accessory. And I created a distinction between these two, just in case the end result wasn't successful, so it's not like you had to go and undo everything that happened. So right below this, we're just checking, okay, if these folders don't exist, then we're going to create a new one, we're going to set its name, and then we're going to place it in the server storage, and then update the variable. And this will ensure that once we place the accessories into the correct folder later on, that it's not using an outdated variable, because at the time of referencing this, maybe it didn't exist, so it'd be placing it into nil. So from here we can continue, and now at this point, this is where everything gets started. So we're looping through the server storage, and this is where we're going to check if we can find an accessory in the server storage, and if we can, we're also going to make sure that it has a handle. And if this condition is met, we can assume that we have a working accessory. So from there, we're going to create a clone of that accessory, and that is what is going to be placed into the new folder, or the welded accessories folder. And then afterward, we're going to place that original accessory into the original accessories folder, so once again, you know which one is which. And from that point, we can activate the next function, sending through the cloned accessory so that we know which one needs to be welded. So now we can scroll up to this function, and the very first thing we're doing here is referencing the handle. So with this parameter of the accessory right here, we're able to reference any data that was sent through. So we'll reference that, and we'll look for its handle. And once we've done that, the first thing we need to do is make sure that it is not anchored, because if any part inside of the accessory is anchored, then the player is not going to be able to move around. They're going to be stuck in place. And from this point, before we weld everything together, we are actually going to find every single item inside of the accessory that is a weld, manual weld, or weld constraint. And if the script finds any of these inside of the accessory, so this means that it's not just going to be on the first layer of the accessory, but everything else from there. So if the handle had parts in it, and then inside of those parts there was a weld, then this getDescendants method is going to be able to find that. And if we found any of those, we're going to destroy it to make sure that nothing conflicts when we're applying the new welds. Because down below here, we are going to be creating new welds that are all attached to the handle. So once we've done this part, we are then going to see if any of the descendants that were found were a base part. So once we've gone through and found all of the welds, we're going to look for any of the parts that need to be welded together. So if what was found is a base part, and its name isn't handle, because we've already referenced it up here at the top, then we can go ahead and make sure that it is unanchored, and then we could create a new weld constraint. And this weld constraint is going to be placed inside of the handle so that we know how many parts are actually welded together, and then we're going to change its part 0 and part 1 properties to the respective parts. So part 0 is going to be the handle, and part 1 is going to be one of its descendants. And once all of this is done, we'll then warn in the output that, hey, the welding has completed for this accessory, just so you know that everything has turned out fine. And that pretty much sums up this script in its entirety. So if you have any further questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. And thank you for watching this additional explanation. I'm glad that you're wanting to learn more. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time.